like speaker muted and like mic muted.
I know.
So it shouldn't have done that anyway.
Things are weird. Things are very weird. Okay.
Welcome to the fucking purgatory episode. It seems we just can't seem to get shit working sometimes. Or
nothing is ever gonna work. I blame Mariah Carey because somebody thawed her ass out. Holiday. By the way, that's like a big joke. It's a big joke here in the U.S. There's actually a video of Mariah Carey frozen in a giant ice block, and there's like these people dressed up as like Halloween outfits, like jack-o'-lantern heads and stuff like this, and they thaw her out, and she starts singing Christmas songs.
Didn't you see the report by the SCP Foundation?
No, what?
Oh, they do a report every year about Mariah Carey breaking containment.
I've not seen this. Nice. So the ad ends here in 54 seconds. So we have to, before I want to show this to everybody. I just don't want to show this.
No, show it really quickly. So it's like subscriber premium like content.
Oh, subscriber premium?
Yeah.
So it's my birthday soon. So my daughter comes in and she gives me 2 of these. And she goes, "This is your early birthday present." I'm going to show it to everybody. I'm going to hold it on the screen.
So show it to subscribers only. So subs only. This is your exclusive content.
Okay. Is this a Halloween thing or is this a Christmas thing? I want you to answer that question for me. Okay.
I kind of feel like it's a Halloween thing because it's not super Christmassy. It's wintry, yeah, but it's not super Christmassy.
Yeah. So this is the base for it right here. It's a fucking Christmas tree.
It's a Christmas tree. So
okay.
now
it looks like a ghost to me, and I guess it's supposed to be a snowman.
I guess
she comes in at Halloween. She comes at Halloween and says, "Here, Dad, here's sure."
I guess,
she gives me 2 of them.
I guess, but unless you were a subscriber, you'll never really know quite what we were talking about there because Eric won't show it up on stream anymore. So you know.
There you go. It's gone.
Never mind.
So I don't know if you're subscribers, right? So Tam says it's both Halloween and Christmas. I don't know.
Hello, Miss Chris Ween.
I was thinking, wait, how like Halloween on Christmas and in the night? That's fucking Blink 182.
I love the Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm a fan.
Yeah, to be fair, Nightmare Before Christmas is actually pretty good. Tim Burton is like pretty good at doing fucking Halloween stuff. To be fair.
Wasn't he married to like that Helen Bonham Carter, whatever the hell her name is? Yeah. She's like a chick. Yeah. She's when she was younger, she was like freakishly hot. It was weird. I don't know if that's just me.
Ludicrously hot, yeah.
Okay, ludicrously hot. I like that. That's a new thing.
I mean, yeah, like she was like, but then again, I was also a bit of a scene kid back in the day, so
There you go.
Where are you now?
A little bit, not loads, but then again, I was legitimate because I was actually in a band, so
In a band.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I was just it wasn't just like I was in a band for like dancing or like fucking backing vocals or something like that. I was like integral fucking drum. I was the fucking drummer. So
you were like,
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Mac, but this is not a scene. It's a goddamn arms race.
Oh, see,
dude.
I was gonna give you 10 scene points to that, but you're not the winner, so I'm not giving you 10 scene points.
By the way,
are you sorry I'm not the winner?
It's a name of a song by Funeral for a Friend. But okay. Oh,
yeah.
We can move on from this.
By the way, McLeod was fucking Phil Collins, motherfucker. Okay.
I mean,
by the way,
I didn't dress up in a like gorilla costume and like push chocolate to people, but
Gorillas. I like that band. Gorillas. By the way, the little base opens up. I'm like, why does this fucking base open up? It's very strange. Oh yeah, it's like a little hinge. They open up. Like, what is it like? You press this into cookies?
So what?
I don't know what's going on.
So aside from the rando thing that was it your daughter bought for you?
Yeah, well,
what's been happening to you? What's been happening this week?
For me, I'm like never home. I'm flying East Coast to West Coast and fucking Arizona. Okay, sometimes they adhere to daylight savings time, and sometimes they don't. Right? It's like, or they don't, and then they're in one time zone, then in another. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
So I kind of been meaning to ask you something, but I don't know whether it's appropriate for this show or appropriate to stream the answer to it in any way, shape, or form. But like, I mean, anybody who knows you kind of knows that like at one point you did run a franchise of an Amazon delivery company thing, right?
Yeah. We can talk about that.
You can talk about it. So it was. So one thing I've kind of noticed, and I've always kind of wondered about, right, is when you get Amazon delivery, right, you and it's out for delivery. Like at some point, you basically get shown a screen with the map and where the delivery driver is and stuff like that, and how many stops it is until they get to you, right? But you see them driving, and sometimes you kind of feel like if you study it, like if at any point you kind of study it, you kind of look at it and you kind of go, this seems like it's really unoptimized, right? Because like sometimes you can kind of feel like, oh, they've driven past you like multiple times, and you're like, just stop and deliver mine, right? And then you can, and it will be much easier and like be less time for you driving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and less petrol used or less gas or whatever used, like that kind of thing, right? Does Amazon not actually optimize their routes, or do they say that you guys can optimize the routes, but like it's a pain in the ass to actually do, or because it's all centralized, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't work with like the app basically showing that you're X number in line and showing the actual where they are, right?
So 2 things there.
All right.
Okay. Let's start on FedEx.
All right.
FedEx sends you a file and you feed it into your software and it says, okay, here's the layout, and you can change the layout and how it's delivered if you wanted to. Okay. Amazon rolls their own everything, right? They don't buy anything off the shelf that may have been optimized for decades.
Yeah, all of their stuff is in-house,
right? They do it and everything. Now, the drivers can force it to deliver out of order. That's why they do a driver affinity if they can do that, and you'll kind of get the same driver more often in your area. And the driver can do a thing on their thing and deliver out of order if they want to deliver out of order. That's generally not the thing. Amazon thinks that they should deliver the left side of the road and then deliver the right side of the road. Okay. They don't want like on a neighborhood like that makes sense on like a highway.
On a straight road.
Okay? Okay. But like, I'm gonna like, we're probably all in like very neighborhoods, right? And if you want to deliver to my house and the house across the street, you want to stop once and just go by once and bammo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the reason. If you're in an area where they've decided they want to split it, that will happen quite often. So, and then sometimes when they drive up to your house, sometimes they can't find your package. Okay. So they load their own vans. So all the oversized big boxes get loaded one way. And then they have these totes, these 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot totes. They're just nylon bags. And they throw all the jiffy packs in, they call them, all the little stuff, right? Get packed in those. So let's say there's about 20 in each tote. So your first 20 is in tote 1, your next 20 is in tote 2, your next 20 is in tote 3, right? And they could have 15 of these on their van. Well, what happens is they come to your house and your package isn't in tote number 3. They look all through tote number 3 and it's not there. So then they got to go deliver and deliver and deliver. And then what happens is they'll get to tote 4. Oh, and shit, your package will be in tote 4, so they have to come back to you.
Okay.
So that really happens in the sort facility when they put them in the wrong tote too. So all that stuff one of those instances is why you don't get in order that you think you're getting it.
Okay. But
I got something really interesting the other day. I got a text from a delivery from my FedEx person. Okay. And this I kind of didn't like. Okay. All right. So I actually think I still have it. Yes. Thursday, there was a delivery to the house. Okay. That was Halloween, right? I was actually home for that. It says your driver, Haley, is estimated to come between 11:45 and 1:45 p.m. That is the first time I ever got a text telling me my driver's name. Now, I know who Haley is because she's one of the drivers who always deliver. I don't know her. I never knew her name, but I know it now, and that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You should never know your driver's name. It's only your first name.
That can get into the realms of like people creeping other people out, right?
Yes. But the only thing I'm going to tell all our viewers, doesn't matter if you're in, Europe or America or whatever, we're coming on the holiday season. Okay. Your drivers are going to be working late because they can deliver up to 10 p.m. and it's obviously going to be darker in the U.S. earlier for the holidays, starting probably mid-November. Make sure you leave all your outside lights on because it's hard for these drivers to see, okay, what they're trying to do. And the other thing is, it doesn't hurt if you're in a nice neighborhood, you can do it, or you're not in an apartment complex, you have a porch or whatever. Leave water and leave snacks out for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because these guys, I will tell you, they work hard. And by the way, the worst thing that these delivery drivers do, and I'm going to complain about them a little bit, okay, is they will decide not to take lunch and they will deliver all day long. They won't eat. Okay. Now they'll drink as they're driving and stuff like that, like water or Powerade or whatever, right? But they won't eat, right? So like a little power bar, granola bars, even candy bars. If you've got a little something leftover Halloween candy, save it. Chips, everything. We just put them in a little basket and we leave it out there. And they take whatever they want. And by the way, since I've seen a ton of videos of kids stealing entire bowls of candy, right, on Halloween when people leave it unattended, that is one thing that I have never seen because we do have a camera out there. Okay. Drivers will take one thing. They won't even take like a candy bar and a drink. They'll take a drink or a candy bar. They won't take both. Right. And if I open the door and see them, I ask them if they want something.
I've seen videos of like some delivery drivers taking a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm sure they're very, very few and far between as such. But like, it also, you don't have to put like an absolute shit ton of stuff out there, like on your front porch or whatever. Like, you can just if you have a few delivery drivers, like how many deliveries you're gonna get, right? You can just like leave a few things out there. Like you don't need to leave a fucking massive buffet there for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we have like a 2x1 by maybe 6-inch deep little basket tray, and we just load it up and just put it out every day. That stuff doesn't go bad,
Yeah.
And we put it out there. I don't know. It's something I know that they appreciate. They do. So lights, they love the lights being on. If they're delivering to you late, And, 9 times out of 10, they won't take something out of it. But occasionally they do, and it's,
So what you're saying is preferably lights on and no additional rakes strewn about the place.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
rakes are bad.
As opposed to rakes randomly all over the area with lights entirely off.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, Amazon drivers are not supposed to pull into your driveway.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you've got like a 1/4 mile long driveway, they're supposed to walk all the way from the road to your driveway, which is ridiculous.
Damn.
Okay.
I feel sorry for anybody like in the sticks getting deliveries, like, and also to be fair, if I was a delivery driver in the sticks of the fucking US, I would be every single time dropping off packages, I would be like shit scared that I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah. Well, the worst is dogs. Dogs are the worst. I mean, not that I don't like dogs, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, they break through doors, they chase the drivers, they get bit all the time. Commander Starstream, leaving out a chicken parm sub, here's what you do. You make sure that chicken parm sub is warm and ready to go, and you intercept them at the door and you just hand them the chicken parm sub. All right? That's what you do. By the way, if I do open the door, I always ask Kate, if we don't have something out now, I'm like, hey, you need water, you need anything.
And if he's lactose intolerant, tell him, fuck it, tell him, shit happens, man. Like,
dude, I'm trying to get my boys to date the FedEx girls. I mean, the FedEx girls.
I mean, ulterior motives aside, they should date who they want to date, right? Like, just
they should. But we have very, very polite and very pretty, and they're always made up nice. our FedEx girl. I mean, they got like the fake eyelashes, and their eyes are all made up. I'm like, dude, you trying to are you going on a date later? What's going on? Because you're ready to go, right? Just change out of that FedEx uniform. Yeah. They're awesome. They're very nice. They're super, super nice. And it's nice when you've had the same drivers for so long, because you do say hi to them and whatever they need. They bring Eric's wine in. You always got they bring my wine to the door. And by the way, they bring it to the door and they set it down and they got a sign for it, and then they pick it up and hand it to you. And I'm sitting there going, you can just go. I'll pick it up, right? No, super nice, super professional. So, whoever's doing the hiring for that particular FedEx company, they are spot on with the politeness and niceness of everybody. No, I'm not. No, that's not me.
He's on about politeness and courtesy.
I know.
Courtesy. He's not on about,
You got to remember when, that's
when
I decided.
He's not rating people on attractiveness. It's like... It's not about that.
No, and by the way, remember, that's when I decided, I was marrying my wife, right? When she turned around and said to me, my children will be polite. I'm like, woohoo. So yeah, I really get off on good service, good politeness, and all that stuff, because that's how I would.
So out of interest, considering that the tipping culture that occurs in the US, do you tip your delivery drivers?
No.
Why don't you tip your delivery drivers? Are you fucking evil or something? Like, what's going on?
Very rarely we have had a, when I had that company, I shut it down. When I had that company, occasionally they would get a 5 or something like that if they had a lot of stuff they were delivering. But you don't. But leaving snacks and things out for them is kind of like that. No, it's not. Now, if somebody delivers flowers, like from a florist, it is much more common to tip somebody like that than like a UPS, a FedEx driver, or something like that, right?
Okay.
It is more likely if they have a big delivery that you would help them, surprisingly, but it's I don't know. It's not something that you do.
I mean,
I'm a tipper, right? I'm a big tipper, so Yeah.
I mean, I say this, but like it's not something that we do in the UK. But then again, it's not. We don't have the tipping culture that you have in the US, and the kind of one of the reasons for the tipping culture that we don't have is down to the fact that we don't have a legislated federal different fucking revenue. What is it like? There's like a federal revenue, like officially like federalized different sort of payment scheme for people who get tips, right? Fucking strange. We have, I think
I
found this out recently.
100% sure.
I found that out recently. It's literally a federalized sort of thing where you get paid differently because you get tips.
Well, no, we have a minimum wage.
Yeah.
That you have to meet, but you don't have to do that if you're in a tipping environment. That you pay them way less, right?
Yeah,
because they make way more with tips, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, restaurants that have tried to get rid of that have failed in the end because what happens is all their really good servers go to another place where they can make tips. Like, I think there's a couple of restaurants in New York that tried this, and basically they said, okay, we're going to charge more and there's no tipping and we're going to pay our people more. And
it changed the whole culture around it, right?
Well, so whatever you raise their wage for, they can make way more based on how people tip.
Well, they might be able to make more.
In most cases,
again,
they make more.
It's a cultural thing. Like, if a server would be as would be doing the polite things they do in the US here in Germany, people would be very, very annoyed by it, right? The constant, hey, do you need anything? Can I do something for you? Refilling drinks, like that kind of thing. We don't want that here, right?
It's not that it's like it's not like it's a not appreciated thing. It's just like it's an unnecessary thing.
No, it's absolutely not appreciated in the North.
What's not appreciated in the North? I guess I missed it.
Sort of the constant sort of the constant waiter or waitress kind of like coming up and basically saying, "Do you need anything? Can I help? And can I get you anything?" And basically.
Oh, how's the food tasting?
Interjecting themselves
into
themselves into the situation, just to make themselves appear more attentive and hopefully get more tips in that regard. Like, it's like
no, see. We look at it here. When you come to my table and you say, "Hey, do you need anything? Do you need more iced tea? Do you need more whatever?" Right? That's, hey, I drank all my iced tea and I'd like a refill. Right? I don't want to have to hail you down. You just appear. Right? That's kind of how you like it.
It's the exact opposite here.
Well, I don't think it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But like you.
No, here in the North, it's definitely the exact opposite.
Rum and Coke.
If I go to restaurants,
yeah.
Like, for example, for example, Soth, like when we were in Prague, like literally the first kind of place that we went to and we had like dinner, right? Like the first place that we went to, yeah, it's not really upmarket or anything like that. But like when we'd finished beer, we got a new beer. Like, it wasn't a case of like we had to flag a waiter down or a guy, like one of the staff down and basically say like, "Oh, can we get another beer or get beers and stuff?" Like, they just came with more beer and put more beers down. Like,
there was no forced interaction there, right?
No,
they
that's
didn't
true.
ask us. They literally just set another beer down in front of us.
But what if you didn't want another beer and didn't want to be charged for it?
If you don't want another beer, then don't empty the last one.
Okay.
Or you can just say, "No, thanks." That's fine.
Yeah,
like,
you can do that too.
You can be like, "No, I'm all right."
I've been at restaurants in the U.S. Like, it's not uncommon that your server takes your order and takes care of your drinks, and somebody else brings your food to the table when it's ready. And then the server will have to come and make sure they got it all right and everything like that too. I've been at where the server does everything, and I've been there where, hey, I've never had to ask for my drink to be refilled. It's just, hey, somebody zips by. One of my favorite places I go to breakfast on Hilton Head, right? I never ask for my coffee to be refilled. It's just, hey. there's like 5 people with coffee, and then bam, that sucker is full constantly, right? Which is makes Erik happy.
So,
but I truly don't care. Charge me 20, 25% more, whatever you want to do, and give that money directly to the staff. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Or don't charge it for me, and I'll tip it.
So yeah. And in the spirit of appreciating stuff, I'm going to say thank you very much to the K-Man for the tier 2 sub. Earlier. Thank you very much, mate. Interestingly, I'm gonna be having like a my 40th, in actual fact, is coming up soon. So I'm gonna be having some fucking Brazilian barbecue as such.
Brazilian steakhouse barbecue?
Yeah, Brazilian steakhouse kind of thing going on.
Oh,
and the cool thing is that the thing is what they have over there is they have this like little thing where you like you rotate it, like, and it's like there's one half's green, one half's red. So like if you have it red, then they know not to come. But if you flip it green, then they'll bring more steak and stuff. Fucking cool.
I have a picture of, and maybe I'll share it sometime. I have a picture of a bunch of my court mates and Don Rea in Vegas at the Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh, okay, cool.
Meat all over the table. I saw it the other day. I'm like, hey, there's Don. That's cool. We're all hanging out, and
I think
it was great fun. I love the Brazilian steakhouse.
I think if you go to a Brazilian steakhouse, it's definitely not a place for vegetarians.
No, but when I went to my first Brazilian steakhouse, that's the first time that I had hearts of palm, pickled hearts of palm.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is really the core of a palm tree that's been pickled. It's like, really, I love it.
I'm definitely going to try some like Brazilian, like specifically Brazilian stuff there. Like,
and I took Newbie to one of the original Brazilian steakhouses where I live, not like one of the chains. It was, a family from Brazil that came here and did it. And I love it because they bring it on the swords and they bring everything, right?
Yeah. That's what they do here as well. So pretty awesome.
Total Newbie was out here for a weekend one time, and my wife and I and him went to the one here because he loves them. And they actually had octopus salad.
Oh,
and he said it was some of the best octopus he had ever had, and that's the first time I had octopus, and I was like, holy shit, this stuff is amazing. I love it. I love octopus.
Cool.
All because Total Newbie made me eat it.
Well, I mean,
anybody remembers him.
I'm definitely gonna try some of their cocktails, right? Like there's Brazilian specific cocktails as such. Capirinas. I'm probably butchering the fucking the pronunciation of it. But yeah, like apparently that's a very Brazilian specific kind of cocktails. I'll definitely fucking try some of that stuff.
Okay, I need you to do something for me. Okay, when you go.
Mm-hmm.
This same Brazilian steakhouse that I'm talking about, decades ago when it first opened, we went there with a bunch of friends, and one of them brought a friend from work who was from Brazil, and we were there for a brunch, and this place was always BYOB, right? So he brought this liquor, and I don't know what it was. And it was, you just took a glass, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You had a glass, like not a highball, but a low ball glass. And he put a ton of sugar in it and limes, muddled the limes and the lime juice with the sugar, and then put some ice in it, and then put whatever this alcohol was straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you drank it. And it was strong liquor, but the lime juice and the sugar had to still be gritty. It couldn't dissolve. You didn't want it to dissolve in the liquor. So as you drank it, you wanted to crunch on the sugar.
Interesting.
And whatever this drink was, it was powerful, but it was yummy, and I don't know what it was. Probably maybe one of our
I've seen some some really decent versions of, say, for example, a mojito done in various different kind of things, especially sort of like YouTube how to make a mojito sort of stuff, right? And I've seen like kind of the usual smash the living shit out of the out of the mint kind of thing while you're doing it sort of thing. I've tried one with like a different, like more I would consider to be probably traditional way of doing it, which I prefer so much more. And so the way you kind of do it is instead of like smashing the crap out of the mint leaves with like a muddler and stuff, like what you do is you put mint leaves in, right? You pick you pick individual leaves in and you put it into the drink, right? You put granulated sugar in, and then instead of like smashing the crap out of it, you don't even need a muddler. You just need like a long bar spoon, right? And you just spin those leaves and the sugar in the glass for like 2-3 minutes, right? And the idea is that the granules of the sugar, right, are rough enough, coarse enough to actually puncture the mint leaves, the mint cells in the mint leaves to bring out the kind of thing. You don't need to like fucking pound the living crap out of it. Like you just spin it with the sugar in there for a decent amount of time, for like 2-3 minutes kind of thing. And then after you do that, you put the lime juice in, and the Bacardi in, or whatever white rum you particularly want. Bacardi is actually fairly traditional for this because Bacardi is actually from Cuba, and Cuba is where mojitos were originally from. So anybody who says that anybody who says like don't use Bacardi in mojitos is just flat out wrong.
No, you don't.
You can use better rum. You can use better rum for sure.
I mean, there's better Bacardi.
Yeah,
right.
There's definitely levels of decent Bacardi. Like you can buy the like shitty version one like out of a corner store or whatever. When
it comes to rum, like I'm gonna object.
we got into rum, and suddenly Sotomasil's ears prick up. Just like, whoop, what's going on? What's going on? You're talking about something that I definitely know a lot about.
Come on.
This show this week is sponsored by Pilar Spanish Sherry Cask Rum. Dark rum.
Oh, very nice.
All right.
Come on, Matt. Did I or did I not convince you of good rum?
You did, but you also opened my eyes to how insanely sweet rum can actually get. Like, I knew rum, and I knew mead. I didn't realize there was a point at which those two not just meet, but like intermingle and like go to each extremes, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Like mead doesn't go to the. Mead doesn't go super sour, or doesn't go sort of like to the levels of not so sweet that rum does. But like rum definitely goes the other way to the point where you're like, is this rum or is this mead? I'm not sure.
Did you go to the mead museum with us?
No. I think I was crashed out in the morning on that.
No. You missed something really good there. We had frozen mead.
Ooh, like a slushy sort of thing going on.
Yes.
Interesting.
That was really good.
This is a slushy, but not for like children. This is like an adult slushy. Like, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome.
Slushy, yes.
At my bar place, I mean, they have a slushy thing, and they change the slushy drink every day.
Yeah. But as Meppa says in chat, like,
go with the transfusion, baby.
Like mead, beer, wine, that kind of stuff was all basically ways of being able to make drinking safe, so you didn't get horrendously ill.
I know. Scary.
That's also one of the reasons why IPA is a thing, because IPA was India Pale Ale, and the British made India Pale Ale to sort of basically send to India for the troops stationed in India for occupying India, in order to basically have them not drink the local water. And that's the reason why it's a pale ale, as in a low strength ale that soldiers could drink for longer periods of time and not get completely fucking wasted.
But wasn't there something with the IPAs too? They lasted longer on the ship as well, or something like that. Is that
probably
true?
Probably. I'm not sure. I haven't read anything specifically about that, but like,
I'm not sure.
I know that they were. I mean, if they didn't last the journey to India, then there's no fucking point sending it, right? So they would have to. Yeah, they would have to last.
Yeah. So yeah, we got.
Sorry about that.
I have. I went on. What's that? What's that gambling site? U.S. people can't gamble on the U.S. election on Poly something.
You guys figuring out ways to legally gamble on the election or something? Like what's going on?
No, there is. It's Poly Market or something like that, right? So I'm just saying that, I'm going to put a Poly Market bet in because we're going out to dinner tonight that my daughter gets one of those boba tea things where we're going.
Oh, boba,
they had boba tea on menu. Yeah, so I have a very large bet that she will be ordering one of those.
I've never had one of those, but it's weird. It's like I've never had one of those, but I know kind of what it is in a weird kind of way because the little kind of like the little spheres in there are actually like made from. They're made from what is it like? They're actually made from something specifically. Like they're actually like to some degree edible in a weird way.
Cassava, tapioca. I don't know.
Tapioca, yeah, that's the one. Tapioca.
Yeah, is that what
tapioca.
it is?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I don't know. My daughter loves boba tea. I mean, that's like the thing, She's like, little Instagram girl or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Froggy got it as well. Tapioca.
She'll come in. She'll tap me on the head and, "Oh, Father, how are you doing? So good today. Okay, buy me something."
I wonder what it's in German.
I'm more
God,
like
I have no idea. Like
I'm the dude that buys things. That's all I'm known as.
Meppa, no, like we meant like exportable to India rather than from India.
Oh yeah, it's tapioca.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's in English it's tapioca. In German it's tapioca.
It's also mandioca for some reason.
What's mandioca?
That's weird.
It's tapioca. It's just a different word for it.
Well, it wasn't. It hadn't been hadn't had a name change or an additional name added to it from the US, so that helps as well.
Or manioc, which comes from the scientific name.
Oh,
manioc. Man, we're learning all kind of shit on the show today, ladies.
So, looking at the clock.
Yes.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're an hour in. And like the only thing that really we've kind of looked into is, well, aside from all of these random tangents, the show should really be called Tangent Central or something like, I don't know. But like we figured out what Erik has kind of been doing this week, which is basically just jet setting from West Coast to East Coast.
It's my fucking next 2 weeks. when I put in like chat that I spent all day Friday, like, my one person goes, hey, you're not saying anything in the meeting, right? It's been an hour-long meeting. I haven't said anything. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm making travel arrangements for the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Literally, that's all I did. And I am East Coast, West Coast, back to the East Coast, West Coast. Right? I'm just like, what?
I mean, you should be racking up those air miles, man. Like,
I am racking up
getting some discounts going on.
I went from Group 5 to Group 2.
Saying that air miles wise, I did see like a Map Men video recently, and I'm amazed that Sothersil didn't actually like link it in our usual discussion groups kind of thing. Where it was actually really cool. It was sorry.
I'm pretty sure I did.
It was a longer and less, like somewhat abnormal Map Men video. Because it was the one where they were doing they were doing GeoGuessr stuff, and I just thought it was really funny that, like, They fucking lost, like whoever it was who lost the GeoGuessr thing basically just, literally flew to the location that they fucked up at to take a selfie right there and then fly back.
Well,
I thought it was a bit.
Well, on Wednesday, I at least I don't have to fly to Wednesday, but on Wednesday, I may or may not make it to my destination.
The fuck's happened? Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
I fly to Dallas Fort Worth, and I have 60 minutes to get from one flight to the connecting flight. I might make it. I might not make it. You don't know.
Oof. Okay. I mean, you've only got. Yeah, I mean, 60 minutes sounds okay until you factor in the possibility that like your plane might be late by 30 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever.
Well, they didn't tell me I had to be there until like Thursday night.
Oh,
so I really couldn't make my reservation. I have, I got to go through and get all the travel approved and all that bullshit. And then I got to, make the arrangements. So when you're making them on a Friday for a Wednesday flight, there's not a lot of seats ready. So I'm in the second to last row on the flight. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't even upgrade to like first class to get to the front because they're all full. Right. So I'm the last person getting off the flight to go and then walk to wherever god awful gate this is to get on the flight. Right. So you really only have 45 minutes because they close the gates 15 minutes before the flight takes off. We'll see. If I don't make it,
well, shit. If they close the gate 15 minutes before the flight, like was
45
scheduled,
minutes.
45 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ! If it was 45 minutes before the flight was meant to leave, like with my flight going out from fucking Prague, it would have shut. Like the gate would have closed before the gate had actually opened.
So we'll see if I make it. If I don't, I'll have to try and shift on to a later flight or whatever. But I don't have to talk until later in the day. And if I, we'll see. Okay. My presentation is at the end of the day. I got to get to Burbank, California, and we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I could not get any closer.
Nothing but good luck for you on that front. Like
I don't want to, but that's because I don't want a center seat, right? I can move up, and I might do that. I might, I can upgrade that for free, but it's a center seat,
I just hope that you're not. I just hope that you're not flying on a Boeing satellite today, like
no.
on that.
No, a Boeing satellite, no. So yeah,
they seem to have a tendency to explode these days. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, at least I get back before midnight on Saturday next week, so that's better.
Oh, that's good.
But
does that mean that like next Saturday you're unlikely to be on the show?
No, next Saturday I'll be good.
Oh, okay.
And even I'm good the next couple of weeks. I think I'm.
Okay.
I think I get back like Thursday both weeks, but I think it is like really 1 a.m. Friday morning that I'll get back the week after next.
Oh, okay.
You can pull all the arms up and lay down. Yeah, actually, I am in a row in the back where it's only me. That is kind of nice. But
that's what I would. That's what I would call premium economy, there, Lincoln.
Premium economy. By the way, before I was married, I was flying back and forth to Kansas City every Monday, Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a flight that it was like the Wednesday. It was like, really strange. Like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is unusual because it's a big travel day. But whatever the hell it was, okay, it was me, one other guy on a direct flight between Kansas City and Pittsburgh. And it was me and one other guy. And they only flew the plane because they had to get it back to Pittsburgh for the next day or Friday or whatever the fuck. And so there were two of us on a plane, like a big plane, right?
Okay.
And there's two of us and like 6 stewardesses back in the day when everybody was a stewardess. And they were all young. And it was like, and I wasn't dating my wife at the time. So, but yeah, it was like me and this other young guy and all these young girls. And we're just drinking all the way home. They didn't have to do any work. We all just sat around for 2.5 hours and BS'd. It was great. That was like the best flight ever. But yeah, we had half the plane to each other, right?
That's fucking cool. Yeah.
So that was the only really cool time. But yeah, so if I take a middle seat, maybe I can get off and I might do it. Or I might just check the check the seats every once in a while and say, okay, did anyone's free up, right? Anybody move around or something, right? That can happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because I can go in and change that. The good thing is I always get the hotel I want, even if the corporate site says no corporate rate available. Because I've stayed in the hotels long enough that I can just call them up. Corporate rate. You
walk up. You're doing the sort of like the phone equivalent of walking up, like James Bond is like, my usual suite, please. Like,
no, I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool.
Okay.
No. But no, because I'm higher up on the food chain there than I am on the flight food chain, so it is kind of nice.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Because we get if you call within 48 hours of your date, you're guaranteed a room type of arrangement.
Oh, nice. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm going to do. And
they make the extra effort to sort of open up some, open up a room and what have you for you. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah. So if we go to the Marriott that's beside the Harpa, whatever it is, I'm there.
Well, that's a nice little segue in actual fact, because there was a little thing from CCP about the all events on sale for FanFest for 2025.
Woo! Yeah. Must not, if they're on sale, they must not be filling them up, baby.
But apparently you have to pay for the pub crawl and the foodie walking tour and the Friday fleet up party.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We'll have to decide what we're doing.
Finding a bar to sit and drink.
I
don't understand pub crawls, right? I want to find a nice bar and I want to sit my ass down there and then I want to have fun with my friend.
Yeah,
I don't
want to walk.
Be there for an hour and then be hauled to the next one.
It's kind of like, I found a really cool fucking place, but let's decide to basically say, nah, fuck this place and go find something worse.
I'm ready.
Nice.
Ready. I renewed. I'm good.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I found something really, really great, like a really great place to sort of drink and socialize. Let's forego this great place and go find somewhere shittier.
Yeah.
See, that's one of the things in the U.S. Let's go back to the U.S. tipping culture, right? So,
full circle.
Hold it. In the U.S., let's say we're in Vegas or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would find that bar that we all like, and we're there for a couple days, and we would go back to that same frickin' bar and sit in the same frickin' tables and tip the shit out of them. And they would you would always get the same tables and you'd get the best wait staff and they would love you and they would take care of you.
I mean, that's kind of what we did in Prague as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's
it's not like we don't do tipping. It's just that it's not as insane. We tip 10%, right? What we usually do is we round up.
Yeah.
It's not like we tip an extra 30% on top or something like that.
Yeah, we're not going it's not like we'll tip 30%, but it has to be exactly 30%. It may sometimes be 12%, it may be 15%, but basically it'll be whatever it is up to whatever is the closest round number, or a decent round number that adds a decent tip to it.
Makes their job easier and also gives them a little bit extra.
Although to be fair, it was always funny when for whatever reason, the few random moments where we were buying things or paying for things separately, I always thought that was really fucking awkward.
Because we don't have to divide it by 10 people.
Yeah.
No, that's when everybody just figures out how much they owe, and you put on one credit card, and you be done with it.
See,
and that's what we did most of the time, Eric.
No, with our group, it has become kind of a meme that someone secretly goes off and pays before anyone else can notice.
Oh yeah, that is
yeah. And then they don't say, and then you don't know.
A certain someone did that for the big dinner in Prague, and we are not talking 10 people here. We were, how many were we?
Well, I think we were a good 30 people, if not more.
Right
30
about,
people,
right?
Yeah, like it was a good amount of people. Like we had basically like the entire bottom kind of section entirely filled up. Like aside from maybe one table of like 4. Like other than that, it was all fucking Imperium / goons and Associated Blues.
And Associated Blues. There you go.
Because I just realized that's not. I'm not just talking about me here. I'm also talking about Marana as well. So
we have, we do shit like, let's just say perhaps I have a friend and maybe his name is Usher. Okay. Just say. Okay. We might be at a bar somewhere and Usher might go around buying shots for the entire bar and randomly putting it on other people's tabs.
That's a bit fun.
Maybe.
What the fuck? Okay.
So everybody knows this, so then they will randomly start buying like rounds of shots for the entire bar and sticking it on Usher's tab. Maybe. We're those people.
I don't know whether that's genius or just fucking evil.
Everybody knows it happens. We just do it, and it all evens out in the end. Okay.
Yeah, but it's look. We have some people that come to our meets who aren't that well off, right? Who afford to go out every night.
But there's also sort of like also an aspect of like there's some people who come to the meets who have come much further than other people, right? And in that kind of situation, it's like you're not paying for drinks or for food. You're just not, right?
Yeah, well, you got to know your audience. Number one, right? Got to know your audience, and friends will always treat friends appropriately, I think.
I mean, we had someone in Prague from Taiwan.
Boy, that had to be a long trip.
Yeah, and an expensive trip as well.
Yeah.
I think me to fly to Prague was like $2,500 US.
Yeah,
just to fly.
And so when you have somebody who spent only, so when you have somebody who spent like $2,500 like getting to the meet, and somebody who spent only like 150, 200 quid getting to the meet, like certain people are going to be paying the bar tab, and certain people aren't. Right?
I paid $60 for my train tickets.
Exactly.
There you go. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, always know your audience, always know your friends, and always treat them appropriately and with respect in all those situations, right? Like when I was talking about us, nobody's going to have a problem with whatever their bill is at the end of the night, right? And if you do, you would know in our group, right? In our group that goes to a certain place, we know that better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not unusual for us to like go to the bar we go to and, have a beer and a bowl of soup and then, drop a $20 tip or a $50 tip or something like that. That's not unusual. You just take care of the staff there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, my parents haven't bought a meal since my sister and I have basically probably, I don't know, maybe the last 20 years.
Yeah.
When they're with us, right? They're just not allowed. They're not allowed because, you raised us, you paid for us, and, it's our turn. Right. And so we just don't let them, if we're out. And if we're out, there's like, here's 2 credit cards, split it. We're done.
Yeah.
right? And again, just know your audience, treat everybody with respect, and you'll always be. I mean, and that's just kind of life, right?
Yeah.
But don't be patronizing when you do it, right? If you're somebody who says, I got the bill or whatever, fucking
don't act.
Do it.
Don't
just do it, and
just do it. Don't act like you don't make a scene or act like they have to owe you one because of it. Like, no.
Oh yeah, those people are the worst, aren't they? Aren't they? I mean, they are. I mean, I really don't know them. I don't know those people because I don't hang out with those people.
You experience those people in only a fleeting way because, like, if you have any sense, you basically just be like, you're not going to be in my circle of friends because you're just a shitty person.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Absolutely, right? I mean, those are. This is actually a really interesting show. I'm sure everybody's getting all
with the rando conversations that we're having. Yeah. I hope people
looking at the clock.
Yeah.
And considering what I have been doing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, what have you been up to this week, by the way, Sothrasil? What's been happening with you?
So, I signed up to help with the AT. And, my contract actually states that I help with the feeders round. But
you definitely did stuff in the finals.
Yes, it gets chaotic. The refereeing is done by GMs, and these guys do this once a year, right? And some of them have done it for the first time this year.
Yeah, and obviously they need onboarding. They need to kind of
it gets
what
chaotic,
to do and all that,
right? And I mean, I do a lot of tournament stuff, so I know how things work. There's also someone called Amy Muff who helps with it, who was actually in Iceland to help with everything.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, things got a bit chaotic on the first weekend. And they asked me a question. It wasn't multiple questions. It was one question. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come on Discord and hang out and answer questions when they come up.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I've been doing. I've been hanging out with some GMs, helping them when they have questions, and otherwise watching the AT.
So what you're saying is you've been in Discord hanging out with the GMs, answering questions. So basically being the GM for GMs.
Yes, basically. It's especially funny because the last time it was Anger Games 5. I made a character for collecting all the plaques for signups.
Oh yes, I recall that.
And I log in on this character and I start accepting contracts. And you got to imagine I'm accepting contracts for a total of over 100,000 plaques, right?
Yeah.
And I all of a sudden I get a DM from a GM, and I'm like, that was faster than expected, right? I did expect someone to ask questions like, hey, this is not like RMT, is it? But I didn't expect it to be that fast. And then GM tells me who he is, and then he's like, oh yeah, I see you are new in EVE. Would you like some help, getting started? And I'm like, what?
Oh, fantastic!
So yeah, I explained the whole thing. Like, look, I'm not a new player. Like, I organized this tournament, kind of like a big one, and we haven't had. So I guess the rest of the story is for the people who paid for it. And
I'm just thinking, the whole sort of like, oh, you appear to be new here. It's like, not entirely certain what twig them to think that you maybe knew in a particular kind of way. But it reminds me of the whole, like, oh, hi, Aerith. It appears that you seem to be a high sec player.
To be fair,
like, how can we assist you?
It was a new account, and it wasn't a new account on.
It wasn't a new. Was it a new?
Right.
So was it a new character or an entirely new account? Like
entirely new account on a new email as well.
Okay, that probably didn't help things with regards to being considered a new player.
I mean, I explained the whole thing, and the GM was still like, "Oh yeah, but like, if I can explain, if I can help you with anything, if I can explain anything, don't hesitate to ask." And I just come back to him with, "Yeah, same goes for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask."
I'm on your Discord, by the way, and this is my name. This is my Discord name. Just FYI.
Sadly, that GM was not part of the AT team, so
that would have been funny.
That would have been super funny.
You know, he was eyeing for a nice little tip, nice little 10% additional on top of it. That's what he was doing. Oh God. Yeah, I will say I apologize not being on video today because my house is basically everything's everywhere at this point in time because I've had like a bunch of people in for 3-4 days at this point in time to basically install a whole bunch of stuff. Like they were basically ripping up floorboards and putting in like an entirely new like central heating system. So yeah.
Ooh.
My stuff's everywhere. So it doesn't exactly look that great at this point in time. And I need to rearrange and resort everything out. But like, yeah, that's one of the that's what's been going on with me is basically my entire house has been upended to install some like basically full house water heating system, pipes and everything.
No, but you keep dodging my question.
What question? I don't think I don't think I've been keep on dodging questions.
No, I keep saying like, let's talk about Eve, right?
All right, yeah.
Especially with what's been going on in
we
the
talked about
past 2
FanFest.
And you guys keep dodging. So how did you enjoy the AT?
I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I liked the fact I liked the way that the additional new kind of rules played into the traditional kind of alliance tournament. Like, you know, the fact that we have, you know, the fact that teams have 100 extra points to play around with, you know, all of that kind of jazz. Like, you know, there was a few things that CCP sort of I'm not going to say stole because it's not like that sounds like a derogatory kind of thing, but like they definitely were inspired by from Anger Games, right? And I think there's some really good additions.
To be fair, the whole thing about having more points than 100, that was something that Zealous was planning to check out anyway before I asked for it for Anger Games.
Oh, okay.
It's just that he kind of abused Anger Games to test the tech.
Oh, I see. It was a you didn't realize that this was actually a test bed for CCP kind of games.
But it has been a test bed for CCP for ever since we came back, right? Ever since Rebirth. We kind of embraced the whole let's test out some new things and give CCP some ideas for the AT.
Oh, okay.
Because it was becoming a bit stale. And look, in the beginning, Anger Games was meant to be a tournament for new players to get into the tournament scene. But I don't think we need to kid ourselves there anymore. We've definitely become bigger than that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have.
Yeah, and we kind of started embracing that with Anger Games 5, and then even more so with 6, right? Where we actually looked at things that we want to see in the AT, and we're like, hey, how can we test this in an Anger Games format, right? So that the work is already done for CCP. Well, they just need to include it in the rules.
There's a level of testing things for CCP, but there's also a level of like, if you kind of want us to test some really interesting or unique sort of stuff, like you do kind of need a little bit of like support from CCP in order to actually have those interesting things be available for, you know, something like Anger Games, right? Like, because otherwise it's just the cookie cutter, like you only have 100 points to sort of distribute kind of thing, unless you get to actually change the point values of all sorts of different things without any CCP developer touching anything, which I don't think is really how the tool or how the sort of the tournament tool really works. I think it's fairly custom. It's fairly, you know, involved.
What you could do, you can actually copy out of the tool. So what you could do, if you had something wacky you wanted to do, like, hey, let's have 200 instead of 100 points, but CCP doesn't have the time to implement it for you, then you could just copy it into a spreadsheet that is prepared, right? That does all the calculations for you.
Yeah.
It just adds more work for the referees, who are usually already pretty busy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're generally fairly fucking busy people. But, you know, having Anger Games basically being sort of like the Eve tournament skunkworks does have its interesting kind of elements as well, right? Does have its sort of unique kind of let's see how far we can potentially push Eve devs in terms of making unique kind of unique features, right?
It's also so most people know, like, I used to be an FC, right?
I think you used to have a reputation as an FC as well.
Yeah.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
As an FC, your role is to figure out how to break a system, right?
Yeah.
Whether that being game mechanics or the other fleet.
Because it's about advantage, right? Like it's about trying to find, you know, those small advantages that will allow you, you know, an advantage over your enemy, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, FCing is basically, if you break it down, you are breaking systems. You're figuring them out, and then you're doing everything you can to break it. When you're running a tournament, it is the exact opposite. You are creating systems, right? And it kind of goes contradictory to everything you do as an FC, right?
Yeah.
You are not trying to get the advantage for anything. You are actually trying to get a level playing field for everyone.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from there for sure. You know, that's generally when you're trying to figure out like a specific sort of like systematic kind of advantage rather than a psychological or like skill based advantage again over your enemy, obviously. right? I'm not overthinking this. Cool. Okay.
I mean, there is a lot of overthinking in tournaments.
Yeah, there definitely is. But sometimes people can overthink things far too much. Sometimes, like especially teams can overthink things far too heavily and end up causing themselves a great deal of mischief.
No, that's true.
How did you find the Alliance tournament, by the way, as an aficionado of Alliance tournaments in general, or just tournaments in EVE in general? Like, what was your thoughts? What was your takeaway?
I thought it was fun, definitely. You could tell that there were still some issues CCP had.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the first day, they came online on Twitch a bit too late. The first match had to be pushed back quite a bit.
Yeah. But you get
that's
those.
Actually the second match was when I came on Discord and started helping out, right?
I mean, but then again, sort of like, you know, technical difficulties, things going awry, not really working exactly how you'd actually, you know, specifically planned, or maybe, you know, scheduled in a very, very regimented kind of way. Like sometimes that kind of can really throw a spanner in the works where you're like going, oh fuck, I have to catch up. We have to catch up on a whole bunch of stuff. Like when things go awry. I think
CCP had some fun ideas. And some fun ideas that I'm probably not alone with, that I don't ever want to see again. Like, for example, releasing rules and then changing them a few hours later.
Oh, yeah, with the whole, like, it's been hijacked by Garistas stuff.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
That was fun exactly once.
Yeah.
Right?
It caused so much confusion initially.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a bit fucking strange. I mean, anybody who thought like, oh, CCP got hacked or anything like that was, you know, hackers would not do that kind of stuff. Hackers would go like way harder and not just be like, oh, let's put a bunch of graffiti on their stuff and re-upload it. Like, nah, that's not what they do.
I mean, law-wise, that's exactly what happened, right?
Well, yeah, law-wise, that's exactly what happened. But like, if we're talking about what real hackers would do, that's not what real hackers would do. Like, real hackers would be like, yeah, we're just gonna fucking lock everything and ransomware your stuff.
And then you get into like, what is more important, the law or the integrity of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I think that wasn't an issue this time yet.
Mm-hmm.
But there was potential for it to go wrong. So I hope CCP got it out of their system, right?
Yeah.
And try to do something funny like that again. There's plenty of other funny things we can do.
Yeah,
which I hope Jintan will explore in his tournament.
Just ask some funny people the funny things that they would potentially do. You'll get a whole bunch of stuff that may not be as confusing as like what we experienced this time around.
Well, we got more test beds coming up.
Oh, okay. Is this where you announce Anger Games? The next thing?
No, it's not. The next tournament is gonna be another Captain's Cup.
Oh, Jintan stuff.
Yes.
Nice. That'll be really cool, because that's kind of almost taking up the mantle of Anger Games. So it's like new player friendly stuff, right?
Yeah. It's also gotten bigger than expected. Like last time.
They're very much in the style of Anger Games.
Yes, although Anger Games grew over many years.
Okay.
Captain's Cup was like, we didn't do an Anger Games because we knew Captain's Cup was happening, right? We didn't want to stand in the way. that kind of led to all of the teams that would usually play anger games being like, "Oh, there's a new tournament. Let's play that instead." Right?
Yeah.
You could have seen that coming, but on the other hand, it's also, you never know what to expect, right? Of course, you are happy when there's like literal hundreds of players that want to be involved with what you do.
Yeah, and you have to curtail it, like guys,
but
enough. Like,
yeah, but on the other hand, you always fear that what happens if I don't even get 16 teams, right?
Oh yeah.
What happens if the turnout is horrible? And then the exact opposite happens, and you get way too many teams.
Well, I mean, at least at that point, you kind of go, well, there's definitely a hunger for this. Right? There's definitely people who want more of this stuff, which is always good. Right?
More is always better.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
I just hope that the higher ups at CCP see how
well, the way I kind of see it from the way I see it from a business,
well,
the way I see it from a business sense, at least, is the more eyes that that are on the anger, the like whatever tournament it is, whether it's like Captain's Cup, whether it's Anger Games, whether it's the Alliance tournament, officially, right? The more likely there is that you can potentially have sponsors wanting to, to be seen sponsoring that particular event, right? And more sponsorship means more money, and more money means businesses like, and CEOs and C-suite people are like, their ears prick up and go like, oh, money, I like this.
Mm.
And that's generally how you get into the good graces of C-suites, of the C-suite kind of crew, is showing that there is good business opportunity for various different things. So, and generally good business opportunities are subject to whether you have an audience. And it, the audience for the Alliance tournament is generally pretty solid. Yeah. Other than other than tournament stuff, Soth, like anything else going on with you this week?
Wasn't that enough?
No, it was never. Oh, that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. To be fair, like, I don't know about you guys, but sort of controversies, like talking points and stuff about for Eve has been a little light this week, and that's probably one of the reasons why we're kind of like just waffling and going down rando tangents and stuff. But yeah, there was obviously a little bit about the CSM. The CSM, like, obviously CSM's been elected. They're all kind of like doing the whole transitionary kind of stuff. So that's all good. There apparently hasn't been any kind of like terrible shit that's happened, so that's all good. With regards to the CSMs kind of like fucking anything up, that's nice. But yeah, I'm just glad that, like, everyone's had a fairly decent day, or decent week, as it were. I mean, have you moved, Soth, Erik? Have you guys moved over yet, like, properly? Because obviously Froggy's just like helping out with the topics there, like in terms of disruption ops to fuck with you guys moving. Like, I haven't had to move because I'm not in Goons, but like, you guys are. How's moving been?
I did move all of the Rep C stuff. I have not moved my own stuff yet.
Oh shit! Really?
Well, yeah,
and structures are still up.
Yes.
Oh,
Pretty sure
right,
the
okay.
Keepstar will stay up.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know. I'm being pestered constantly by my alliance and by Orth, basically sort of saying, we think that you have stuff in Delve and you need to get that stuff out, like, and it's just been constant, and I've just it's been a constant thorn in my side. Swear to God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Other than that, it's been a kind of fairly chill week, right? Been pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that like we get like some kind of controversy that we can really kind of sink our teeth into. And where the and where the fuck
we
is?
do need a controversy.
It's really, and honestly, to be fair, it's really fucking strange that we haven't had Dawn today, or we haven't had Dirk today. It's fucking strange.
Well, Dawn is roped into something by her mother, right?
Dawn's doing IRL stuff, apparently. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I only just saw that in stuff. Yes. Okay. I hate to ask this. How are the zombies going, Soth?
Well, you know how zombies are.
Bit bitey.
They're easy. Bit bitey, yes. They come in hordes. There always seem to be more. And sooner or later you run out of ammo.
Ammo. Use machetes.
Yeah, infinite ammo. Yeah, like that's an infinite ammo.
That works with like one or two zombies, but not against like 50.
What you need is a...
My machete says the Matani census required.
Weird, mine says the same.
What you need, what you need in that particular scenario, Soth, is you need a Zweihander. That's what you need. Because then you're not just cutting off like one head, you're cutting off like 15 at a time. With the one swing. That's what you need. Like fucking massive sword.
Right.
Yeah. There you
go. I'm just gonna, turn in circles and scream Blade Storm.
Yeah, exactly. Just take what you see in Diablo and be like, that's the moves. Those are the moves. Like just a whirlwind of pain and blades.
Mm-hmm. There's no chain lightning in Tarkov,
Yet. We don't know what they're gonna add.
Fair point.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. I have been like so out of the loop this week.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah.
Out of the loop? Well, that's because you've been doing like, house shit.
Not only house shit, but also like, broken car shit as well. Like,
oh, broken car shit. That sucks.
In actual fact, what happened there was like one of the tradies broke a diamond tipped drill bit to drill to drill through some tiling, and I had to go and quickly buy a new drill bit, like a new diamond drill bit for them, just to expedite the process, right? And get there, buy the drill bit, get in the car, and then the car doesn't fucking work.
Oh.
So it's just like, what's the one thing after another, right? But yeah. Shit happens, man. Well, I think it always comes.
That sucks.
Isn't it something like they always come in threes? So I'm kind of like wondering what the fuck the third thing's going to be.
Oh no threes. One's good enough. Just one.
I'm just kind of like looking through Reddit right now.
Are you? Anything good?
Why would you do that?
Just in terms of like wondering what the fuck's been going on in the game. Sometimes something like rears its head as such as to what's going on in the game. I do know that, for example, at this point in time, one thing. Let me just fucking. I'm going to talk about it before confirming it, but I will just sure to confirm it anyway. But I believe we have a meta show on this week. In actual fact, this weekend. In actual fact, today. In actual fact, an hour after the show.
Whoa! I'm not sure if I can contain myself.
Yeah, back to its regular scheduled time slot. See, it seems potentially.
For how long?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Soth. Who knows or cares to dream? But yes, there will be a meta show, as far as I know.
I care to dream,
unless Dave specifically mentions otherwise, that there will be a meta show an hour after the show finishes here. So we're going to be finishing at the top of the hour, and meta show will be on an hour after. But I will attempt to try and use the raid function on Twitch as a moderator and not a channel owner, and see if it actually functions. You never know; it may fuck up, but hopefully it won't. But yes, and we'll basically be raiding a channel of a particular person called, if I can find it, Cendric. And the deal with Cendric is he's doing a 24-hour stream for raising money for a charity called Extra Life. Basically doing a donation 24-hour stream for Extra Life to help, I believe, a hospital that actually saved his son's life, which is fantastic. So,
if I remember correctly, Extra Life they do games and stuff for children in hospitals, right?
Believe so. Just see if I can find the whole thing. I believe so. I think that's what it is. Black Shield Productions for Extra Life. Program of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. Sacred Hearts Children's Hospital in Spokane. What's WA? Oh fuck! Eric just disappeared. Eric,
I don't know. I just bent down to pick something up. WA.
WA.
Washington.
Okay. Cool.
Not as in Washington D.C., but the state of Washington.
Yeah. Washington State, the place where you can get where you can buy weed.
You can buy weed in lots of states.
Well, yeah, but you could buy weed in, I think you could buy
weed. Is that the only thing you associate with Washington?
Well, no, I recall a if Google was a person kind of videos where someone was like Washington, And they were like, here. And it's like Washington State. And it's like, yeah. No, this, yeah. I thought you meant that. Like, and it was clearly somebody who like really enjoyed getting high. Like, it was like, yeah.
Well, I read an interesting article about weed. Do we have time for that? We have time?
Probably. Like,
it's quickie. So like, way back in the day, like the 70s, that us old people remember. I don't even think you were born yet. Weed was like, I think like 1.53% like THC content or whatever. But since they've legalized it, it's like way higher. And I don't know what the percent is, but it's not like 3, like 30. Okay, so it's so much more potent today than it used to be back in the day. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go search to get the actual number, but yeah, it's like a lot. Weed evolution.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all I know is
that's fair. Wasn't Sacred Heart like the hospital that was in Scrubs as well?
Might have been, but that
yeah.
Or is it just like is it just like a generic like name for a whole bunch of hospitals over in the US?
It is pretty generic. Let's be honest.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, Scrubs. Now that was a fucking show.
Love Scrubs, yeah.
I love Scrubs. I am a fan. And by the way, I love that the main guy, his dad was like a director in Hollywood, right? And he's going to do directing, but they do like all the T-Mobile, like him and his best buddy. They still do, like they live next door in the T-Mobile ads for T-Mobile cellular communications.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, so they still play off that, and it's still funny.
Nice.
I have this like weird feeling, like maybe in real life, never looked into it. Maybe they're like actually friends in real life because it's just it just works so well.
Well, the two main characters from Scrubs.
Yeah.
They
were roommates,
actually, right? They are actually. I think they became friends through the show.
Like
but,
JD and Turk you're talking about, right?
Yeah. They are still friends in real life. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would make like lots of sense.
I don't know why. I really liked Cox, like Dr. Cox, and that like his fucking lines.
Oh yeah.
And his lines and his sass, like just fucking great.
I don't think there's anybody that I didn't like as an actor from that whole thing.
I also love the because I don't know how much that was originally a character in the original idea of the series, but like the guy who plays the janitor, like he's a guy called Neil Flynn, right? And he's literally just called janitor. Yeah. Like he doesn't actually have a name specifically, but like clearly somebody in the show like realized how fucking good he was as an actor and was like, let's develop this character, even though he doesn't actually have a name. Like it's just so good, man.
I know. Everything about that show is awesome in my mind.
Yeah. Fucking so good, man. Yes.
It's also weird how like Scrubs had probably one of the most hard-hitting moments in television, right? I mean that episode with Cox's brother, the guy who takes photos all the time.
Oh, I think I've seen that episode. Maybe I've missed that episode. I'm not sure.
Was it Cox's brother? It's a guitar behind me. It's standing behind me because I haven't played it in like years.
Guitar guy.
Yeah, like that episode like is gut wrenching.
Oh right.
Jeez. And that's in a like comedy show, right?
Yeah. Which is a very rare thing for a comedy show to have.
Have you guys never watched MASH?
I mean, you also have the whole Blackadder fourth one where like the last episode was basically them going over the top and clearly fucking just getting murdered, right? So
apparently
you got that, but like
you guys weren't born by the time MASH went off the air, huh?
Probably not. No. We're young'uns, Eric.
No, seriously, have you never watched the show MASH? Are you serious?
I don't think I have.
I'm not sure MASH would count as comedy these days.
Seriously, MASH was hilarious.
It doesn't have enough put downs these days. That's what comedy is these days. Apparently, put downs.
Oh, yeah.
People punching back. People punching downwards. It's comedic.
By the way,
apparently
that was like all of MASH. I don't know. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Yeah, what? It's in rerun. I mean, there's like channels that you can like watch MASH here in the US for like 8 hours a day.
Oh, that's where we're. So that's where we're getting those sorts of channel styles and stuff like that from fucking. That's where that's happening. Oh, yeah. I thought it was just like people putting together live channels and literally having like no actual inspiration to put anything other than one particular show.
Like Ohio State might beat Penn State. Not that any of you care. I'm just looking here. I'm just looking.
It happens.
Okay. So, by the way, I can watch Jack Frost followed by Fred Claus.
Right.
The Catch a Christmas Star is on the Family Channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and I can watch channel 141, SpongeBob, and then go more on. The Office is on Comedy Central all day, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's so many Kelly's Heroes. By the way, there'll be Hogan's Heroes. You guys ever watched Hogan's Heroes?
I have not.
Might I note that we have 1 minute left.
Yes, we have 1 minute left. Okay. I would like to say that, aside from Eric flicking from channel to channel on TV, in an hour on this channel, you'll be able to see the Meta Show. I would like to point out that, on a somber and sad note, at least in T-Grads, we had a loss of somebody very dear to us, a pilot in the name of Tess Storm. So, if you knew Tess, she was absolutely fucking awesome. Very much a mother to the entirety of the graduates, and very much kind of played a pivotal role in developing the general kind of mood, the general sort of the general sort of atmosphere of the graduates. And unfortunately, she passed away, this week as such. So that's a really unfortunate thing. But there is a Sino vigil going on. I think it's today at 21 to 2200 Eve time at J5A. So if you are in that area and you want to sort of, pay your respects as such, you can come to J5A and light Sinos on the Keep Star and J5A. And you won't get shot or anything like that. Like there's usual rules, right? Usual rules for Sino vigils. So yeah, that's the kind of somber aspect of today's show, as it were. Like, if you want to pay respects to Tess, come over to J5A and chill out with us, and yeah, it'll be cool to see you guys. Anybody who wants to come along. But other than that, on a lighter note, we're going to kind of raid Cendric Gaming, potentially, so long as the actual command works, and I hope it will. And Cendric is basically doing a charity drive for a hospital that basically saved his son's life. So that's going to be really cool. And if you can spare some money towards that would be fantastic. But yeah, other than that, that's basically everything from us, as it were. And obviously make sure that you come back to this channel for Meta Show afterwards as well in an hour's time. But yeah, I'm going to sort out the raid right now, in actual fact.
Okay. I'll just say that I did find 4 channels of note.
Yeah.
1 playing The Office all day, and 3 channels of SpongeBob SquarePants all day.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I'm going to say. And by the way, for those who weren't subscribers, you missed my daughter's birthday gift to me, which we discussed in detail and still have not determined whether it was a Christmas gift or a Halloween gift.
Okay.
Well, no Matlock, higher brand. There no Matlock. Yeah, but some of those channels change daily, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking outside, and I shit you not. Okay, I just saw a dude walking on the sidewalk with a backpack and pushing a stroller and his dog in the stroller.
Oh yeah, I've seen that shit.
Honest to God, just saw it. And the great thing is, I can get the video.
Nice.
From 3 different angles.
Very nice.
That means, if perhaps you didn't want to pick up your doggy doo-doo in Eric's lawn, he will find you. Okay. That's my one last thing. Fur baby. That's right. Fur baby. I'm used to seeing little kids, but I was like, whoa, that's a dog in there. All right, gentlemen. Anything else going on? I think we're at time.
Mac is trying to raid.
I'm trying to sort this raid out, but
let's stay for the raid, baby. Are you sure, baby? Looking a little rough nowadays. Yeah, I know. I don't think that baby needed a shave. Okay, it was a doggy. It was a dog.
So I literally have the fucking raid, and there's cancel raid, and I can click cancel raid, but it also says raid now. But I'm not sure whether it's raid now like straight away, or whether it's doing the sort of countdown thing. I have no idea. I can't tell.
I don't know. Yeah. But I'll stay as long as you need. We will all stay.
Well, regardless, I'm going to give you the link, just if it's not going to actually specifically do it. But that kind of sucks. Start raid.
By the way, I literally just got a text reminding everybody in America Election Day is only 3 days away. That's why I'm all red, white, and blue. In case anybody missed that earlier, I encourage everyone to vote, because if you don't vote, no matter who you vote for, you can't complain.
Nope.
Until the next election. I don't want to hear any complaints from anyone.
I'm guessing you guys can't see that raid in any way, shape, or form, or anything coming up saying raid.
Nope.
Okay. I will complain, even though I'm not voting.
Okay, well, I mean...
you're in a different country. You're allowed to complain. You're from Europe. You guys complain about everything. I don't really care about... I'm talking about Americans.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't endorse any one candidate.
No. Regardless. So whatever reason, I'm gonna speak to higher ups and basically be like, this tool is not functional, because it basically stops you right at the very end of the confirmation kind of thing, which is really dumb. But I've linked the channel, twitch.tv/Cendric Gaming. If you guys want to go there, that would be really I really appreciate that, and just show some love and some appreciation. Even if it's not monetary appreciation, just you just turn up and be like, hi from, we'll just say Push Talk sends their love, whatever, right? Anything.
Yeah.
That we really fucking cool.
And by the way, nobody in the audience is voting for any of us. They never mentioned our name. Okay. I don't know how to take that.
Anyway, that'll about do it for us this week. Take care, everybody. See you later.
Take care. See you next week.
Check out Cendric.
By the way, for the Europeans, right, we'll be an hour different because we fall back an hour in the US.
Yes, next week will be an hour later than we are now. For Euros.
Yeah.
So we'll be at 1800 Eve rather than 1700 Eve this time. So yeah, take care, everybody. See you.
All right.
Have fun.
See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.